What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Welcome back to Top Bins, the show bringing you all the latest news, notes, analysis, and fun from around the beautiful game. Whether you call it football, whether you call it soccer, we got you covered. KB, Mark, Harrison, back again. Apologies for no episode last week. I was covering the PGA Tour at the Truist Championship, and it was just a whirlwind of a week. But we are back. We have some fun stuff to break down with the Prem, Champions League. We will recap the semifinals because we haven't recorded since that has gone final. We'll talk a little bit of the championship as well, as we have the play-in to the Premier League game set, ready to rock and roll, and whatever the hell else comes to mind. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at FC Top Bins on Twitter and TikTok, and at Top Bins Pod on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review on either platform. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people find not only Top Bins, but all of our shows on Underground Sports Philadelphia. And if you're an Apple Podcast user, you can subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia channel on Apple Podcasts now, which allows you to just sift through every single one of our shows. It gives you top shows, top episodes to get into, but all of our shows on the network are all in one joint place now as well in the channels tab on Apple Podcasts, so definitely check that out as well. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show every week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We are currently at 1,059 subscribers, which means we're 41 away from our next 100 subscriber milestone. So keep subscribing, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. You can also leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/FC Top Bins, if you want to get your thoughts off on anything going on around the beautiful game. Leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/FC Top Bins. It is linked in the description of both the audio and video versions of the show. And this show is proudly presented by our pals over at Classic Football Shirts. Guys, they're dropping new stuff every single week. It feels like almost every single day new stuff is available. The 2025 Juventus home kit is now available on their website. They have a whole bunch of new capsules available for you to shop literally every single week. Weekly deals is where I go to all the time right now. They've got the 2024-2025 Benfica away shirt, which looks absolutely gas, on sale for $57.99. They've got a Juventus track jacket that's on sale as well. Check out the weekly deals because you never know what you're going to find in there. There's always some great stuff available at Classic Football Shirts. Shop for your favorite team, your favorite player. Check out the key drops, what's new, and all of their sales going on. Use our link in the description and shop with Classic Football Shirts. And we thank Classic Football Shirts for being a proud partner of the podcast. Boys, it's good to be back. How we doing? We were all at the Phillies game tonight as we record this. Obviously, very ironic that the score ended up being a football score on NFL schedule release day. But we're back covering the Prem, covering Champions League, covering a little bit of the championship as well. But first things first, congratulations to Southampton for drawing Man City and avoiding history in the worst way possible.
Good for them.
Brilliant.
Before we continue, you mentioned that Juventus kid is beautiful.
It's fire.
It's
Wait,
fantastic.
You make it?
Yeah, the new Juve kit. It's got pink in it because they have like history pink.
Oh, I know. Yeah, love that. Let me take a
Is,
look.
it's like pink lemonade pink. It
Is
looks
it
so sick.
Is it the home away or third kit?
It's their home kit.
It's their home.
Okay. Let me take a look. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my God.
Yeah, that thing is heat. But also top tier shithousery from Southampton's Twitter admin. When they drew Man City, they just tweeted, "Sorry if we got your hopes up," and tagged Derby County.
They may be going down, but they're going down with the pride intact.
Absolutely hilarious. They draw Man City there. And a 0-0 draw at that to avoid the wrong side of history. Everton 3, Fulham
Wait,
1.
before we continue about that, I just find it funny that Ruben Diaz was like, "Oh yeah, Southampton didn't even want to play football," and then I saw somebody quote tweet, "It's like, brother, have you seen our team? No, we have 12 points. No wonder, no shit, we can't play football.
Yeah.
Like we're going down for a reason."
That's gold.
We will take that 0-0 draw and run with it.
Correct.
That's so funny. Just clean 90 plus minutes of cardio for both teams.
Yeah. Good workout.
Thank you to Everton for the 3-1 win over Fulham.
Mhm.
I absolutely needed that. That was brilliant. Just a much needed win for a lot of teams that are in the race for top 8. And I mean, just a clean comeback win for Everton. They went down 1-0 early in like the 17th minute, and then they score in the extra time right before halftime. They score in the 70th minute. They score in the 74th minute. And I mean, they did it with precision. They took 11 shots and 7 of them were on target. That's a good win for Everton. As they, we talked about it when they made the managerial change, and then ever since then, they've just been consistently like either above average or like they've played teams really tough, and it's been impressive to kind of watch them navigate through their schedule since they've made that coaching change. But good on Everton. That's a nice win for them here towards the back end of the season.
Here's a fun quick trivia question without looking it up. Outside the 3 relegated teams, Everton, what place do you think Everton is in the Premier League table in terms of just wins?
Outside of the bottom 3 teams?
Yes.
The 5th?
I'm going to say 15th.
17th.
Damn.
I was going. The only 3 teams that have less wins are the 3 relegated teams.
That's insane.
That's wild. That sounds very much like Everton, though, I gotta say.
That's so funny. Yeah, draw FC. Speaking of good, what a win for my boys. 2-0 over Wolves.
The hottest team in the Premier League.
Insane that this is the first season that Danny Welbeck has scored double-digit goals in his career.
Is it really?
In the Prem, yeah, that's not surprising. Because like he's always been like a part-time player at United. He was hurt good amount for us.
Mm-hmm. Always kind of came off the bench and he scored when needed, but I guess he never really broke.
I mean, I'll never forget that goal against Leicester for us. So
10 goals on the year for Danny Welbeck and a good insurance goal late to kind of secure the win there from Gruda, his first goal in the Prem. Great win. There was a much needed win for Brighton, especially on the road. You're fighting for top 8. You're like right on the cusp. Of course, fucking Ipswich couldn't get the job done. But nonetheless, a great win there for Brighton as they are sitting in 9th place right now. And the only tiebreaker is Brentford is ahead of them on goal differential, which is a bummer. You eliminate that fucking Forest game, and we're having a different conversation. But Dems beat a breaks, but a great win for Brighton there at Wolves, and Brentford get it done against Ipswich 1-0 late in the fucking game. I was so pissed when I saw it. There was opportunities that Ipswich had late to tie things up, but 18th minute Brentford score and hold on. So that was kind of a bummer, but nonetheless, Aston Villa, their voodoo magic helped Brighton for once as they beat Bournemouth 1-0, but they do pick up a red card. Jacob Ramsey in the 80th minute. I mean, Villa's pushing Nottingham Forest right down to where they belong, Mark.
Yeah.
That was a huge win for Villa. Bad loss for Bournemouth. They absolutely needed that one. and we'll see how things kind of shake out for them. But that was a tough loss. I mean, I'm thrilled about it, but good win for Villa as it knocks Nottingham Forest down the table. Harrison, Newcastle 2, Chelsea, red card.
Nico Jackson, for the love of God, what are you doing? You are out there to score goals, not do stupid stuff that gets you sent off. I hope next season we give Tyreek George more playing time in his place, because George opens up the field and allows more speed to go down the wings. But it's infuriating because I see the talent in Nico Jackson. It is there. But he just needs to put like 5 things together in order to get where he needs to be. And if Cole Palmer's not producing anything, Nico Jackson's not producing anything. You cannot be, as a striker, you cannot rely solely on your cam in order to score goals. So it's infuriating to watch. Because I know he's a good player. As I've said before, he's a good player when he needs to be. But he does some dumb shit. And it's annoying. It's so annoying. Hopefully next season will be better. We have the Conference League final to look forward to. And hopefully we're able to stay in the top 5 and get to the Champions League next year. Because we always kind of overperform in the Champions League. We might have a bad season in the Prem. But the team does lock in when it comes to the Champions League. But it's going to be a long summer for Chelsea if we don't win the Conference League or place in the top 5.
So with 2 games left, one this coming weekend at Arsenal, and then they finish up at home against Everton. Are Newcastle going to fuck around and make Champions League?
Yes. Absolutely. That they're hot right now. They're playing really well.
Unless we beat them, and then But even then, like City, Chelsea, and Villa all need to win, and then but even then, Villa has such a worse goal difference compared to them that I don't think it matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Villa is a +7.
Villa is +7.
And Newcastle,
they're 16 goals behind. So
I could see Newcastle and Arsenal being a very fun either 3-3 draw or Arsenal wins in a dominant fashion. It's going to be one of those 2.
I'll take this latter.
I know you will. I know you will.
But yeah, good win for Newcastle. That almost certainly locks them into a Champions League spot as long as they finish strong. Hilarious game. West Ham 2, Man United 0. I mean,
one of those teams
is so bad.
One of those teams is in the European final. Let that sink in. And it's not the team that won. What is happening in the Europa League? Genuinely, it's shocking.
I mean, to put it in perspective too, I know we were talking before we started recording that United and Tottenham are in the final there. They are the 2 teams right above the relegation zone.
Yeah. It makes no sense. The Europa League is honestly more of a joke than the Conference League this year. Uh-oh.
Oh, you're back.
Sorry, you guys lagged out for a second. Spurs have 20 losses this year. They lost more than 50% of their games. And like United have 17. So I don't care. I don't care who wins. Neither one of the teams that win had a better season than Arsenal. I don't want to hear it at all.
Yeah. No, totally agreed.
So funny. West Ham absolutely fucking dropped the hammers on them.
As much as I love to hate on Arsenal, y'all had a great season. Genuinely a great season. You made the Champions League semifinal.
Considering everything and all the bullshit, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to make Champions League again next year. You're no longer in the banter era, which is huge huge for their club.
It's going to be very important summer, though.
The fact that either United or Tottenham is going to walk away with a trophy while Arsenal aren't is kind of a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. Next one's a big old chuckle fest. Leicester City 2, Nottingham Fraudist 2. Sound the alarms. The fraud alert is alive and well.
I forget which episode it was, Kyle, but you need to pull up that clip and make it a
I
short.
definitely have to find that.
When I called Forest not making Champions League, it's gonna be fantastic.
What a bunch of frauds.
Major props on that call. That was phenomenal.
And then like when they were still third for like a long time, even a few weeks ago, like I was still held fast my belief, but it's finally coming to fruition. No, that situation at the end of the game was crazy.
Wild.
Also, the fact like that Taiwo Ione is like now in a medically induced coma,
which is absurd.
Crazy.
And they're saying he should be fine, but like and then not like that, and then him having to play on because he said he was going to go on, and they made the last sub, or like they didn't have a window to make another sub. The owner coming onto the field, and then that like really long statement they put out, like it's just crazy.
It's wild. Let me pull up that statement actually, because that shit was crazy. Yeah, this thing is like a fucking like brochure pamphlet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. What an absolute fraud organization.
Mm-hmm. I hope they enjoy playing in Kazakhstan.
I mean, you called it from the jump when you dropped that hammer on them and said, like, when you don't score, you don't win. And this team doesn't score.
Yeah.
And when they do, the other team finds a way to beat their defense, and they just draw all the time. Like, Brighton has less losses than Nottingham Forest this year.
Yep.
Crazy.
Granted, it's by 1, but still less losses.
That's less losses.
Like, of the teams that are in the top 8 right now, like, the only team that has more losses than Nottingham Forest is Brentford, and they have 13.
Mm-hmm.
And they're tied with Newcastle with 10 losses. Like, Fraud FC. Nottingham Fraudist. Crystal Palace 2, Tottenham 0.
It's just same thing as United. I think their entire focus is just on next Thursday, whenever the game is.
The grass is green, sky is blue, water's wet.
Spurs
and then Arsenal, Arsenal 2 with a red card. Liverpool 2. Thoughts on?
Yeah. So what can I say? That first half was probably the worst first half I've seen them play in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
They were just slow to. Like, they had a couple early chances, but they were just slow to react. Like, and I get it because so much energy and went to Paris, and everything, and then you're disappointed with that, and then you have to go to Liverpool, give them the guard of honor, and like it was supposed to, in theory, supposed to be a big game at the end of the year, and it's nothing. But still, they were just terrible in the first half, like giving up those 2 quick fire goals. So I was like, well, my biggest thing was, hey, just show me some fight back, please. And to their credit, they did. I'm sure Arteta ripped into them at halftime, and they fought back, got an early goal, which was nice. And then Marino scored, and off of like a ridiculous Odegaard shot. And I was like, where the fuck has that been all year? But maybe his ankle's finally fully healthy. Like my theory, like Odegaard was that ankle was never fully fit, even when he came back, and he never really fully trusted it. So, and that like limits his creativity. But not much to say about the red card. I think that was just from exhaustion. I mean, it's a deserved red card. It's dumb. It's just annoying now. trying to figure out how we're going to line up for Newcastle. Especially Trossard's probably. Havertz is apparently back at full training today. So, which is like, that man is a physical specimen. Like, I don't know how he's back because, considering how much he played for us and like how exhausted he was at the end of like every game, like pressing and everything. But if he can play against Newcastle, huge boost for us. Look, we got a point. Weird game. Just beat Newcastle, secure Champions League, and go. I mean, worst case scenario, if we lose, we have Southampton last game of the season.
Yeah.
So like, but I'd like to go out. I'd like to go out on top at home.
Right.
It's our last home game of the season. Also, I fucking hate Newcastle. But especially now that it looks like they're making Champions League. I mean, that the Isak dream is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we did get Zubamendi apparently. So
that's nice. That is very nice.
So there's a start. This is going to be the start of a very busy and important summer for us.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. There's already rumors swirling for all of our clubs, which is very fun. We'll take a look at the table here before we look at the week upcoming. Table Talk is brought to you by our friends over at Biñho. Guys, it's the next big tabletop flicking experience. Check out everything Biñho has to offer on their website. They're dropping new boards all the time. They just dropped the officially licensed PSG board, now available on their website. Check out the Diamond Stripes edition as well. It's like an Argyle type board on the green turf. They've got the Biñho Classic back in stock. And of course, they've got the Arsenal and Liverpool officially licensed boards. They've got the MLS collection for your favorite MLS clubs. Check out everything Biñho has to offer. Use our link in the description. That way Biñho knows you're coming from us. And when you go to checkout, get 10% off your next order with code BiñhoBennett62. That's code BiñhoBennett62 at checkout to get 10% off your next order when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Biñho. And we thank Biñho for being a proud partner of the podcast. Taking a look at the Premier League table, obviously Liverpool have won the league. They are at the top with 83 points, followed by Arsenal with 68, Newcastle with 66. They are in third. Man City in fourth with 65, Chelsea in fifth with 63, Aston Villa in sixth with 63, Nottingham Forest in seventh with 62, Brentford in eighth with 55, Brighton in ninth with 55, Bournemouth in 10th with 53. And then rounding out the rest of the table following the top 10, Fulham at 11th, Crystal Palace at 12th, Everton in 13th, Wolves at 14th, West Ham at 15th, Man United at 16th, Tottenham at 17th, and then the already relegated clubs, Ipswich Town in 18, Leicester City at 19, and Southampton at 20. And those are your standings for the Prem table with 2 weeks to go. And looking at the upcoming schedule for this week, we've got a couple Friday games, a couple Tuesday games, a couple Monday games. We got footy all week long. Friday gets started 2:30 Eastern time, Tottenham at Aston Villa. And then also on Friday at 3:15 Eastern, Man United at Chelsea.
Fun. If you lose to that team,
either we win that game by 5 or we lose by 5. There's no in between.
Are you at United?
Chelsea's home.
Thank God. Okay, with the shed end faithful behind us, who knows? Anything can happen.
Chelsea's home. Villa's home against Tottenham as well.
I can't wait to see Villa 20 on Tottenham.
Then on Sunday, 7 a.m., real sicko mode hours, Southampton at Everton on Sunday at
7 a.m.?
7 a.m. on Sunday.
Jesus.
You know you're a diehard Premier League fan if you're locked in and watching that one.
There's no games on Saturday?
No Saturday games because we
Oh,
have the FA
Saturday,
Cup
the
final.
yeah, okay, yep.
Saturday is the FA Cup final.
Go
Then
Palace.
Go Palace.
Sunday at 9:15, we have Nottingham Forest at West Ham. And then Sunday at 10 a.m., we have a couple of games. Fulham at Brentford, Ipswich Town at Leicester City. And then Sunday, 11:30 a.m., standalone, Newcastle at Arsenal. Game of the week, hands down. And then Monday, 3 Eastern, Liverpool at Brighton. And on Tuesday at 3 Eastern, Wolves at Crystal Palace. And on Tuesday at 3 Eastern as well, Bournemouth at Man City. I just need Brighton to get a dub. Final home game, I believe, of the regular season for Brighton against the Liverpool team that's already locked into first place, already won the league. Just go out there and find a way to win and continue clawing, because that Fulham Brentford game has so much on the line for Brighton to play European football next year. Like Fulham, I need them to absolutely shithouse them and just make it a disgusting type of game. But that's a big game prior to Monday for Brighton, so I'll definitely be all eyes on that. And Brighton just have to find a way to win and get ahead of Brentford in the standings.
Yep. So be interesting to see.
But yeah, and then on top of that, Saturday is the FA Cup final, 11:30 a.m. Crystal Palace and Man City. So that's why those two teams are playing on Tuesday. And then also we have locked in the third place matchup in the championship between Sunderland and Sheffield United for the rights to get promoted to the Premier League to join Burnley and Leeds. Any thoughts on who could potentially bump up?
I don't have any thoughts because I have absolutely no idea about either team. However, I am rooting for Sunderland, mainly because we saw Sheffield United last year and they were just dog shit.
Yep.
So, like, I want new blood. Plus, I want to see Newcastle versus Sunderland again because they hate each other. So I just want to see new blood new blood, relatively speaking. But I want to see Sunderland back in the Premier League.
Not only new blood, but like actual blood when Newcastle and Sunderland collide, because that match is always a 10 out of 10. Even they could be both bottom of the table, and they're still playing like it's for the Champions League final. It's always the best. So I'm pulling for Sunderland too.
World's most expensive game.
Yeah,
that game is on May 24th, so we'll have a little bit of time before they actually play. We'll have another episode. But yeah, in terms of just like points wise, Sunderland are going into that having lost 5 in a row. They have 76 points. Sheffield United has 90. So we'll see. Should be a doozy of a matchup to see who gets promoted. But moving on to a little bit of Champions League breakdown since the last time we recorded. Everything's kind of shaking itself out with the semifinal. It is brought to you by our pals over at Paramount Plus. Don't miss out on the Champions League final. It'll be streaming on Paramount Plus, CBS Live. Use our link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus. Plus, check out all their back catalog of just incredible content. A whole bunch of new shows and movies available. Plus, you can stream things like the PGA Tour. There's a whole bunch that you can stream on Paramount Plus, including Champions League footy. So use our link in the description. Sign up today and get started with our friends over at Paramount Plus. Mark, the dream since we last recorded has come to an end as Arsenal fall in the semifinal to PSG. And one person on this podcast was correct about Inter advancing to the final. Pat myself on the back with that one. But Mark, the floor is yours. I will let you wax poetic about one hell of a run by Arsenal.
I mean, Yeah, hell of a run. Credit to the players for fighting. I we were like so on top of them early on, and I think we needed to score early on. Fucking Donnarumma stopped that Odegaard shot, which was so frustrating. He fucking just wants to haunt every English team ever since he beat them in the Euros. I mean, and then there's nothing you can really do about the goal, especially because it was like deflected. Um, but it was like a strike. Nothing you could really do about it. Um, and then the second goal they gave up was so exhausting. And then at least like Saka scored, so I was happy about that. Like I'm leaving here with something. And then like he had that one opportunity, he had that one other opportunity, and if he puts that in, I'm not saying we come back, but I'm just saying that PSG would have been shitting themselves because we created so many opportunities. Was a little confused about Arteta's comments at the end of the game. Like, was saying like, "Oh, we were the best team in Europe" and whatever. And that's a bit of a stretch. I thought PSG deserved to go through. Like, there's no doubt about that. But I mean, look, we made it this far. Like, we went from not playing the Champions League at all to now quarterfinal appearance and semifinal appearance in back-to-back years. And this experience is going to teach them. Like, it's going to help them. They say, like, especially like when you see young teams when they're just about to make the next step, they need to lose in order to win. I think this is the case for their team. And like, but like it also showcased like the depth issue that we had. Like, granted, like if we had all our players healthy, it wouldn't be as much of an issue, and maybe that's a difference. Like we had Havertz and Jesus, for example, or even Gabriel. But look, congrats to PSG. It is what it is. Happy. I'm proud of the team. They fought. That's all I can really ask for. And hopefully Berto's watching and noticed, hey, we just need to improve the team just overall. So where do we go again next year?
And then on the opposite side, we got arguably one of the greatest draws in Champions League history.
And it's insane because Inter are known for being so defensively stout, and Barcelona just said, "Yeah, no, you're not. This is against us, pal." But it's Inter just kept and that fighting back, and then that last minute goal, and I was like, man, if you give up that, then it's hard to bounce back from that. And lo and behold, congrats Inter though.
A 7-6 aggregate, along with like nearly 100 minutes in leg 2. The game winner gets scored in the 99th minute, and Inter are moving on. And genuinely, like, I felt relieved that I saw a lot of the big accounts that cover this as like their full-time gig feeling the same way I did, that this was one of the greatest Champions League like matchups we've ever seen. Just the cinema that this was, the 3-3 draw in leg 1 to then get the follow-up be this game was absolutely insane. And we're like, I feel like we'll talk about this draw for years and years and years to come, because it was just pure, unadulterated, just like incredible football.
Yeah, it was top notch. Both teams played their goddamn hearts out, and it was a treat to watch. Either team could have walked away with a berth in the Champions League final, and they were both playing like their lives depended on it. I wish I could go back and watch that both legs again for the first time, because it was just the biggest treat in the world. And I'm really looking forward to this final. I couldn't tell you who's going to win it. It could go either way. I'm leaning Inter.
I'm leaning PSG.
It's like 55% in my head towards Inter, that 45% towards PSG. I wouldn't be shocked either way. But
yeah, right now the win probabilities for just 90 minutes, PSG's a 42%, to 30%, and then they have a 28% extra time prediction,
Interesting.
which would not shock me in the slightest if that happens. But I think we're in for one hell of a matchup, and the fact that it is just one and done obviously is going to make it all the more better on May 31st at 3 p.m. Eastern between PSG and Inter for the Champions League final. And speaking of PSG, last thing here, Harris and I were talking about it before we started recording. Mark, did you see Paris FC promoted to go toe-to-toe now with PSG as their stadiums smooch each other with how close they are?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I would like to see like a consistent challenger to PSG, because anytime there is a challenger, like the few times that they haven't won the League One title, like immediately that team gets disassembled.
It's gonna
So
be awesome.
I'm really hoping.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's gonna be absolute scenes the first time those two teams play each other.
Violence.
Yes.
Violence.
That is all we've got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Top Bins Pod on Instagram and Threads, at FC Top Bins on Twitter and TikTok. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps the show continue to grow. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, be sure to check out the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast channel so you can view all of our shows now in one condensed place. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show every single week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. We're at 1,059 subscribers, so keep on subscribing. Get us to 1,100. Get us to the next 1,000. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. And this has been another episode of Top Bins, the official footy analysis, fun, and banter show on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. For Mark Harrison, I'm KB. Enjoy the weekend of footy action, and we'll see you right back here next week, gearing up for the final week of the season. Peace, everybody.